And you know what, folks? They gave me the privilege to bring up the governor, and I ask everybody to please rise. So bring up, for 4 more years, we're going to bring up Governor Will Parkinson.
And Francis for hosting us. I'm very impressed with all this decoration. I mean, look at this. It's like three-dimensional here. All right, Bob, I'm sure it's your creativity. I also want to thank the Yigo organization for getting this get-together. I also wanted to say that, you know, Josh would have been here if he could. And if you notice over the last 4 weeks, we're pretty playing tag with each other. We got each other's back. I was sick, and he came up and did the work for 2. He is now, although he's not sick, but he is required to isolate, and now I'm doing the job of 2. That's a good sign of a good team. So Josh and I have worked together very, very closely. So like I said, when my doctor told me to stay home and ordered me to limit my activities, I'll tell you, it was the worst. It's the hardest thing to do. I was still communicating with Josh and my staff, so we were still together working to lead our government. I also want to thank all of you for your kind words, your kind thoughts, and your prayers and your well wishes for my recovery. I think that's why I recovered very quickly, because of all the warm thoughts and the vibes coming into my heart. So thank you very much, and I want you to know that I do really love all of you, and I thank you for those thoughts. I also want, before I begin my speech, to recognize my husband. First gentleman, first dude, Jeff. He was actually standing in for me too. A lot of people were standing in for me, and they were all great people. So we work together really hard because we cannot stop progress. And this is because Josh and I are very committed to doing what we promised we would do when you elected us 4 years ago to serve as your governor and as your lieutenant governor. 4 years ago, we stood up here and we promised to create a safe, fair, compassionate, and prosperous government. We kept that promise, even in the face of a global pandemic. Our administration rolled out unemployment assistance in record time, and I want to just recognize Dave De La Sola for his great creativity and his hard work. Believe me, I would call Dave every day. Dave, get this system going. Governor, I'm trying to, but in the mainland, they got theirs over 80 years, and now you're asking me to do it in 2 weeks. Yes, Dave, do it in 2 weeks. The only delay really was the federal government, because we had to wait result of this pandemic. We provided new mortgage, benefits, rental and utility assistance, child care, cash assistance, and special health care programs. We are now paying, listen to this because I always say this, and I think this is a great success, that we are paying tax refunds quicker than ever before and doing it without having to borrow money to pay for our tax refunds. As your governor and lieutenant governor, we have invested nearly $4 million to pave our island's roads, and we have plans for more road paving in Yigo. An additional $500,000 has been set aside to pave Route 9, Agafa from the Summer Homes residence entrance to Entrada Street. And that is just the start. Josh and I have made significant investment in public facilities, recreational facilities, street lights, and sports programs. We will soon see a $3 million for a new Guam Police Department evidence section building, which will go up next to the Yigo Gymnasium. Why is that important? That's important because we can now really secure the integrity of evidence so we can prosecute more criminals and arrest them and convict them with great evidence. We are also fixing up your gymnasium here and your basketball court, and that's because we've been working very closely with your mayor, Mayor Chuck Sanchez, to get these programs, because we believe that if we have a recreational facility, we can get our kids occupied in sports, and we can decrease and prevent drug addiction. When kids are occupied, when they're busy, they don't have time to think about drugs. And that has been proven. We are going to have more money in installation of new and upgraded streetlights, because we also believe that streetlights are important because it's a way of deterring crime. People commit crime when it's dark. But when we have street lights there, it deters crime. And we are now really going to build the Simon Sanchez High School by the end of this year. This is the most progress that this Simon Sanchez project has gone through. We are 90% complete in the design, and once we're complete with the design, we can go out for the construction bid. Once we get that, we are doing groundbreaking, and we're going to quickly build that Simon Sanchez. It's what our children deserve. We are also very committed to building a new hospital and a medical complex. This is why we need a new hospital. Our hospital right now only has 5 years of life. After 5 years, it's going to be very dangerous in that hospital. So that is why we are quickly going through the process so that we can start. I want to start groundbreaking in this hospital early next year. And in order for us to do that, we need to win this election. I was listening to Alex up here with his economic diversification plan, which is exactly right on point. We have an economic recovery plan which creates new private sector jobs increasing training, and expanding social programs to help people maintain the dignity of work. We are going to have the first, in a long time, the first island-wide job fair on July 1st. And again, I'd like to thank Dave Philisola for putting that together. Dave, you are the man! You know, there are jobs out there. There are jobs out there. I know this because I talk to restaurant people. I talk to hotel people. GPD is recruiting. The fire is recruiting. The nurses are recruiting. The utilities are recruiting. Shipyard repair is recruiting. Construction industry is recruiting. Hospitality is recruiting. We have the jobs out there. We just need to make sure we train our people. We just graduated about 2,000 high school students just this last 2 weeks. Where are those students going to go? Where are their jobs? We have to make sure that we have the opportunity to give them so they can be trained into these areas. And so our administration has worked very closely with the Guam Community College, worked very closely with UOG, with the Guam Trades Academy to provide the workforce training for our people. So we can reskill them and get them the dignity of a job. That's how we lift people out of poverty. Give them a job, a high-paying job. At the debate, our opponent was talking about we're not doing anything about jobs. We're not doing anything about cyber security. We're not doing anything about social services. Well, if he was here more, then he would have known that we are working hard. Our performance as an administration is way beyond A+. It's all about the people of Guam, and it's all about caring for the people of Guam. Our opponent has saying that we do not care for the people of Guam because we are holding the money and not pushing it out. Well, that is furthest from the truth. That is misinformation that is spinning and politicizing at the vulnerability of our people. That is an injustice to our people of Guam. We are also committed to bring Guam universal health coverage. And people are saying, how are you going to do that, Governor? Well, we spend a lot of money on premiums for our government employees. So I want to take those premiums and put it into self-insurance. And if we insure ourselves with the money that we are putting out, we can decrease the premium cost of our employees. We can better control our ability for our benefits to our employees. We can cut on bureaucracy and we can make it more expedient to get that needed health care. So we are working towards that self-insurance. We are already doing it with the dental. We now want to do it with the medical. We will cut back our costs and provide more benefits to our people. And to move us closer towards the future, we are committed to expand affordable internet access for everyone. I'll tell you, this infrastructure bill that was the bipartisan bill that Congress passed on infrastructure gives a lot of money to broadband because Congress and the leaders there know the importance of investing in that broadband. It's going to allow our children to have more access. That's the wave of the future now, is internet. Here in Guam, we need to improve access to internet, and not just access to internet, but expediency to internet. We can do teleworking, we can learn online, we buy online, and so it's very essential that we provide that access to everyone throughout the whole island of Guam. We would like to make it affordable, so we are going to invest those monies to make sure that that happens. When we began this journey 4 years ago, we all understood the problems. They were the same challenges that had simply been passed from one governor to the next. We inherited an expanding deficit. Our cash flow was crushed by debt. Vendors were begging for their payments. My predecessor threatened payless paydays, and just this month, before we came into office, just a month before we came to us, funds for child support and the 911 system had been raided just to make payroll. Ask Dan Stone, because he asked me the first day of administration, Governor, can we have that money back? I said, absolutely. So I found the $3 million and put it back into the 911 system so they could upgrade their system so that when you call, they can respond quickly. That's the difference between past administration and our administration. We're making you the priority. That under our administration today, our finances are stable. And why does that make me so proud? Because when we came in, we had an $83 million deficit. When we came in, less than a year after we came in, we were faced with the global pandemic. Our economy was zero. Tourism was zero. But what did we do? We paid off our deficit. We made our cash flow go up. Tax refunds are paid faster. All this, just think about this is really amazing. In an environment where there was zero tourism, in an environment where we were resourcing everything to the pandemic, we were able to retire $83 million. We collected more money than what was budgeted. So you're wondering, how did that happen? Right? It's called financial fiscal discipline. And what we did was we looked at all the federal grants that weren't being used, right? And we took those federal grants and replaced those federal grants and not use our general fund to pay for expenses and operations. And as a result of that, we were able to increase our cash flow. So it's called fiscal discipline, it's called fiscal creativity, and it's called also frugalness, because we decrease our expenses too. All of our cabinet members worked hard to make their expenses less than what we had budgeted. And as a result, we had some excess money from the budget. All that, we put it back and we invested that in you.